Hey, everybody, welcome back to the show. This is the PLAP Local Podcast and a special episode coming up. But before we get into that, make sure you hit subscribe on this channel and hit like on this video. It would be very much appreciated. And we've always got extras contained in the video description down below, so make sure you check that out as well. We've got Megan Romphf and we've got Kathryn Dalton. They are the community engagement coordinators for United Way in the Central Plains. So please stay tuned for that. Thanks, everyone, for watching.
Thanks.
Kathryn and Megan, how are you doing today?
Doing great. Happy to be here.
Yep, we're very good this morning.
We're
Well,
liking Christmas colors today.
I know, we're like matching kind
They're very seasonal.
of. We don't plan this.
No.
I didn't even notice, but I do now.
Yeah, now it's all you'll know.
That's right. I'll be staring the whole time thinking, why didn't I wear Christmas colors today?
We can pause and you can go get on your sweater if you want.
Yeah, one of my various sweaters. Yeah. We had a couple winners at council last night. It was ugly Christmas sweater day, but
Fun.
that we do once a year.
That sounds fun.
But we're here to talk about United Way in the Central Plains.
Yeah.
So you are both community engagement coordinators.
Yeah.
So let's start right from the very basics. What is United Way?
You go ahead.
Okay. So United Way is a community supporter. So essentially our organization helps raise funding for smaller local organizations in the area. We have a bigger capacity, a bigger outreach, a bigger brand presence than a lot of the smaller organizations. And so sometimes we have more success going into workplaces and getting some of those larger corporate donations. And then what happens once we get those is we have a committee who decides on where to delegate that local funding. And so right now, that funding is delegated across 9 different community organizations in Central Plains.
Okay. So locally, what can you tell me about the role that United Way plays specifically within the city of Portage Prairie?
So within the city of Portage La Prairie, like Kathryn had said, we support 9 agencies so that we make sure that our annual community campaign provides funding for all these local agencies, and they continue to offer programs and services that benefit the rest of the community. So some of those programs and services are run by Big Brothers and Big Sisters, Portage Learning and Literacy Center, Sunset Palliative Care, Service for Seniors, as well as we have the Prairie Harbor Incorporated as well. So those are just to name a few.
Yeah.
But their programs essentially can't run without some of the funding that United Way provides to them, and that's locally within the city of Portage.
Yeah. We're also looking to bring in some new programming coming into the spring and summer that is United Way run specifically. So some of our fundraising right now is going to hit on programs like Tools for School, making sure that every student has the necessities to succeed in school. We are looking at doing a summer service program where we will help facilitate volunteer opportunities for youth 13 to 19 in the community. So again, working with some of our agency partners, but also working outside of those agency partners, and really just kind of building that community mindedness in our youth is really important. And we're hoping to start financially enabling young adults program, which will help support them financially as they're getting their feet settled, working for the first time, moving out for the first time, and managing a lot of those new expenses. So we do support those agencies, but we're looking to bring some of our own programming in. And Megan and I are really big on volunteering with everyone too. So since we've started here in September,
We volunteered a lot.
yeah,
We're a mighty team of 2, and
Yeah.
people take us up on that. So it's been really nice to be out in the community, serving the community as well.
that's right. Yeah, helping out at various events and different things around town.
So what I'm hearing is if we ever need you, just give you a call.
We'll try our best. No promises, but we'll
Yeah.
We'll
try.
get the United Way symbol to put in the sky.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll have our red United Way phone. You just call us up.
We'll mount it on top of City Hall for all to see.
Oh, yeah.
Perfect.
So, as far as structure goes, can you explain that a little bit to me?
Yeah, so
Oh, go ahead.
we do this all the time. We're like,
I know.
oh, you go, I'll go. So United Way Brandon and District has taken over this area to continue to provide services in the Central Plains region. So what that means on the ground is they're doing a lot of the back end processing for us, freeing up our time to really be out in the community, making the local connections so that we're not so bogged down on the administrative piece of running a nonprofit.
Don't get us wrong, we still do admin and different things in the office, but it frees us up to do those volunteer opportunities or community events. So like we just ran Coats for Kids, was very successful, and we were able to be out of the office doing a lot of that stuff because the Brandon team frees up a lot of our time.
Yeah. So we really work together, but
separate.
Yeah, Megan and I are here running the local office.
Okay, so there is some efficiencies, which is good to hear. What can you tell me about structure locally as far as advisory committees, that sort of thing?
So the advisory committee had their very first meeting on the 24th of November. We had 7 community members come together, and since then we've added another 2 members to the team who, applied a little bit later, but that's okay. So we should have a structure of 8 to 10 advisory committee members, and what they essentially do is take all the impact needs and local community assessments and input, and then the letters of interest from our partner agencies. They go through them with a fine-tooth comb. They can bring them in to ask them questions, and then the advisory committee and the board from Brandon sit together and they talk about the needs and the impacts that are being seen in Portage and the Central Plains region, and they make funding decisions based off of all of that information.
Okay. Can you tell me a little bit about locally donated money, where it would go?
It all stays here. So
let's raise local, stays local.
You're feeding us our little tagline, which I love.
Well, that's important. That's important because, if we don't get the facts out there, sometimes people speculate, and that, where that goes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah. So any locally raised funds stay local. United Way Brandon and District does not take an administrative fee at all from any donations that come in individually, through workplace campaigns, through corporate donations. All of our operating expenses are covered by federal and provincial grants. So donated dollars don't even pay for our salaries or any of our phone bills or anything like that, which I find really important. The money that is coming in through the United Way goes directly to those important partner agencies.
Now, the fun questions. How did you two become involved with United Way?
Well, I think we both, well, I know for myself, I've seen United Way in the community before, and it, had a period after COVID and things that just kind of left it at the wayside a little bit. And I thought, they really need some good people in the office. So I left my nonprofit that I was at previously and decided to jump in 2 feet, get really, really wet, and just go for it. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm new to the community, so I'm a military spouse, and we moved here in August. And one of the things that I really like doing every time we move, because this is my 6th move, is get involved in the community. So it is my first time working with a nonprofit, but I thought what better way than to work with the United Way that has so many different touch points in the community, and get in there and figure it out. United Way in Central Plains is in a bit of a rebuild right now, and so am I. So I thought it was a great thing to work together. Megan brings a lot of her knowledge of nonprofits, and I bring a bit of an outsider perspective to finagle what's going to work in this community and really come out full force.
We kind of are a yin and yang team, and we actually complement each other a lot.
Not just with our shirt colors.
No.
Yeah.
And a lot of times we've come to the point only after 3 months that I don't even have to say anything. And she'll be like, I already know what you're thinking.
Yeah.
So
and I'm on board. Yeah.
It's been really, really good.
Yeah, we're
So-
a really, really great team. And I think, community members can feel that when they see us out and about. We've gotten a lot of lovely compliments. So, yes.
Now, Kathryn, I need to pick on you a little bit just because it's not every day that I have an opportunity to ask questions of somebody that is new to Portage. Usually it's somebody that's been here for quite a while.
Okay.
So now you've been in the community for a little while. Can you tell us what you think Portage's strengths are?
I really think the community is a huge, huge strength. I have met so many engaged Portagers, right? That's what we call ourselves here. I'm learning. But yeah, I think through my time here, living, being involved in hockey with my kids, working here at the United Way, like the people really make this city great. There is so much good that I see every day in this city of people rallying together for this cause or that, really supporting each other, especially during this holiday season. I mean, we're seeing a lot of it. And I think that's a huge strength. I've lived in places where you don't have that sense of community to the same degree. And yeah, it can really make or break a place. So that's definitely the biggest strength that I've noticed.
Now, I hate to do this, but
No, you don't. You don't hate it at all.
can you point out any areas of improvement?
Oh.
It's a tough one, I know.
That one's difficult because everybody's situation is different. And so I can speak to my own experiences, but that's not going to be Megan's experience or the next person's experience. I'm trying to be very political here because
You're doing an excellent job.
Oh, thank you so much. Let's just cut it off then. We're good. No.
That's a tough one.
It is a tough one. Perception, I think, is one thing.
Yes.
Before we moved here, I really didn't know much about the town besides the fact that it was, a small town in Manitoba. My husband was here for his training back in the day. It's been a little while, but outside of that, I didn't have any experience with the town. So I think before we moved here, I didn't know what to expect. And there wasn't a whole lot that I could figure out from an outside perspective about what to expect here outside of talking to some friends who lived here and love it. I don't know how to fix that because that's probably going to be your next question. But yeah, I think the perception piece is hard. But once you're here and you're putting yourself out there and you're going out and you're doing things in the community, like, yeah, you get welcomed with open arms for sure.
Yeah. I would never ask you how to fix it because I don't know the answer to that question myself. I think it's an ongoing process and it's doing little things. I think
the little things make the big things.
Yeah, they add up.
Yeah.
I think we have the perfect mayor right now to change that perception. Yeah.
She's been doing a great job.
Yeah.
She really has.
Yeah.
And she's very involved in all the community, organizations and agencies, and she's really boots on the ground. So kudos to Sherilyn for that.
Yeah.
So going back to United Way, how does somebody get involved or even just give?
So we have applications for volunteers. So if anybody wants to volunteer, there's no set amount of times to volunteer or set days to volunteer. They can even, if they want to go door to door and canvas, or if they would like to pick up the phone and make some phone calls for our campaign season, or attend events like our shopping night. We had some great volunteers come out. Another way that people can get involved is to donate. And you can do that online. There's online forms. You can come into the office and meet us, have a coffee with us or a tea. We're pretty open about doing that. Or if they have any questions, they can come in and ask us because we have no fear in answering anybody's community questions about United Way. Or you could do a workplace campaign or which, there are many different options on what a workplace campaign looks like. So we have some fun options and some fun activities to do. And
Yeah, I think right now, especially through the rebuild, like we have our advisory committee set up and they're going to be great ambassadors for us. But really, anybody can act as an ambassador for United Way, especially in their workplace. All it takes is one person to be like, hey, have you heard about X, Y, and Z that they're doing over at United Way? And that's all helpful for us right now. Megan and I are mighty, but our voices only go so far. So really, like, we appreciate you're even advocating for us right now, Ryan, and giving us some time on your podcast. And we appreciate all of the opportunities to get out and talk to people and get to know situations that they're in and how they feel they can help. So we're really open to people getting involved in any which way that they want to, in any capacity that they want to.
And I don't know if people realize this, but like, we love Portage, and this is a great, central point, but we reach a wide variety of communities. We go all the way up to Eli, all the way up to basically Amaranth, back to St. Francois Xavier, all the way back up to Carberry and into Treeherne. So, I mean, anybody in between those areas, if you have something going on in your community, we would love to come out and support you.
Send out that United Way signal and we'll be there. One of our goals for the new year is definitely to work on our outreach piece. Because, like Megan said, we are in a lot of those smaller communities and they have great things happening too. We just don't know about them. So the more we learn about them, the better we are posed to support them. So, if we have any outside Portagers listening in, please reach out and let us know how we can help.
Excellent. Anything else you'd like to add before I ask you the final question?
I really want to push our Facebook page. I think we worked really hard to.
I'm glad you said that because I was going to.
We worked really hard to kind of revamp that, and that's the easiest way to kind of follow along with what we have going on.
And I will put that in the video description. So if anyone's looking for it, just look in the video description.
Perfect. We've had some great support from Portage Online and the radio station and getting our messages out. And we do want to thank them for that. But I think our Facebook page is the easiest way to find out what's happening or dropping by the office, of course.
Yeah, I don't know. The outreach has been really, really great. So we are very appreciative to all the people who've been donating, coming in, talking to us. And I just want to say that transparency with us is key. So, come on in if you have any questions.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you both a very difficult question. And it's off. We're going way off of what the United Way topic.
Okay.
And I asked this of all my guests on this show and my other podcast as well. And without thinking about it too hard, what is the best piece of advice you have ever been given?
Oh, I got this one while you're thinking.
I have to think.
Okay. So I have my brother to thank for this. So best piece of advice, I was going into high school. He's 5 years older than me. And I was a little bit nervous. Obviously, everyone's a little bit nervous moving from schools. So he said to me, he was like, no matter what your first class is, no matter what room you walk into, when you sit down, turn to your right, introduce yourself, turn to your left, introduce yourself, and all of a sudden you know two people in that room. And I have literally taken that advice with me every time we have moved. And I have gone into rooms where I know literally nobody and introduce myself to like the first people I see, or go up to people who it looks like they don't know anyone in the room and I introduce myself. And I feel that a lot of my success personally and professionally has come from that like open communication piece, and really just having no sense of that shame of I shouldn't be here. I don't know anybody. I don't fit in here. And it's really helped me overcome a lot of challenges with all of our different moves and starting new jobs and everything that comes along with moving every 3 to 4 years to the military. So that is my top piece of advice, and I have thanked my brother time and time again for telling me that.
I'm going to follow that.
No, I'm sorry.
Probably the best piece of advice I was ever given was to be comfortable in your own skin and just love who you are. So no matter what challenges you face, no matter where life takes you, just always know that you know who you are and that you're comfortable with who you are, and everybody else will just either they'll like you or they won't, and that's not your problem, that's their problem. So that's kind of the best advice I was ever given.
Yeah.
That's excellent. Both of them were very, very good. So thank you very much for that. Well, Megan, Kathryn, that is all we have for today, and I thank you so much for jumping on here with me.
Thank you for having us on here, Ryan. This was awesome.
Yeah, we really appreciate your time.
And I'm sure I'll see you very soon.
Yes, we'll be looking for that signal up on City Hall now.
Yeah, and the Christmas sweater.
Oh, yes. Oh, you'll see them. You'll see them. Just go look at the mayor's social media. You'll see a snapshot of all of them. But
all right, now I know what we're doing next.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much.
Bye.